Thanks for joining my 99th podcast of Dating with Katy. I started this quite a few years ago with no intention, just to give some real practical advice to get you guys confident to be successful and to have some fun dating. And I hope along the 99 podcast, you have found something to keep you in the game. Now, I just want to remind you all, and I sometimes forget to do this, but you guys know I'm a matchmaker. You know I'm here to help those who want to hire me to find them someone quality. And if you are someone quality, you just want to be in the database, make sure you click the link. Make sure you upload your best pictures. Tell me what is amazing about you if you want to be chosen. So go ahead and do that right now. And if you're in the Dallas area, you definitely want to get in my email database because I'm going to be doing some really fun stuff coming up and you do not want to miss out. So I only do like a weekly email. It's not going to overwhelm you. Trust me, I'm all about practicality here. The last thing I want to do is hang out on my phone or on my computer. I am a people person. Well, speaking of people, it's my Carrie Bradshaw look today. I got my big hair, ladies. Always keep it exciting for your guy. Thanks for joining. And here's the deal. We are doing this podcast. It's special. It's my 99th, and I have literally waited to do this because I've been avoiding it. I have been avoiding this topic for a very long time. A lot of you have asked, Katy, can you do a podcast on kissing? And I thought, weird. What am I going to talk about? But unbeknownst to me, a lot of people have something they wanted to say about kissing. So I've got 5 things today that you need to know about kissing. So you're going to want to stick around for that. But first, I want to tell you about a client. She is my coaching client, so I've got coaching and matchmaking. She went on a first date with a guy. He ends up being local. She met him on Bumble. We've just been coaching through that. And she liked him, but she didn't give a kiss on a first date, which we'll be talking about in a minute. On her second date, she was sick, so she actually exited the car and just went into her house and said, hey, look, I am subpar right now. I don't want to get you sick, but she did want to rally and do the date, which I'm proud of her because sometimes you just got to rally. You got to stay in the game, you guys. You start postponing things and then they go away, right? You got to keep that dating mojo is what I like to call it. So her second date, she didn't get a kiss either. And she says, Katy, I have a third date coming up. It's a big, long Saturday date, and I want to kiss him. And I said, absolutely, you should. So I have got to get with her. I'm going to be meeting with her this week and to hear all about the kissing date. Plus, if any of you have been watching that Nobody Wants This Netflix series, look, I watched the first 2. I find it really impractical. I don't like this series, but nonetheless, I wanted to see this kiss that they talked about in the second episode. And it was a great kiss. I mean, obviously it's made for TV. They said, even the actors said it was great. It was very magical in real life. Okay, yada, yada. Here's the deal. You can have a kiss like that with anybody. It's called chemistry, which I always am telling you guys, steer clear of chemistry because it does not mean that it's going to be a person who's going to hold your standards. It doesn't mean it's going to be a long-lasting romance. It is super fun to have one of those kisses. I had it once. I met a guy. We had drinks at a bar in LA. I just finished an interview. I was all dressed up, looking cute, went out by myself. Met this fun guy. He was like a liquor rep, so of course he knew everything. We went to another bar in downtown LA, a whiskey bar, and as we're walking up the steps, he grabbed me and he turned me around and he gave me a big fat kiss. It was fabulous. It was super fun. It never went anywhere. The guy was younger than me. That's it. So sometimes you have to keep in mind that these chemistry kisses, that's all they are. As I like to say, chemistry is like lighter fluid on a fire. It is not sustainable. You guys, I am married now. Real life means people get sick. Real life, people are tired. People are busy and working. Every kiss is not a chemistry kiss. So just a reminder, what we're looking for on a first date is a spark. Okay, we're looking for a spark, something that you find interesting about the person and where you could see you could be compatible. And the one thing that keeps a relationship alive is the embers. So relationships will always be work. And that is where those embers will be a benefit to you. So watch out for that chemistry thing. You know how I feel about it. All right, well, let's get into my 5 things about kissing. And I did ask and I took a poll. I didn't get a lot of responses, which is ironic. So, you pushed me to do this and then everyone was silent, crickets. But here we go. I think the number 1 rule, and this is number 1, to kissing is that always remind the person you're out with, you never kiss and tell. So make sure you're not telling kissing stories unless you're deep in a relationship or unless you're both cool with it. It could be dangerous. There could be some jealousy feelings coming up, things like that. But I always think it's classy to say, you know what? I don't kiss and tell. So don't let somebody else try to woo you in. We see that all the time on dates. Oftentimes, if a girl is going out with a client, she'll say things like, oh, so tell me about the other matches you've been on dates with. Not cool. Not cool. So we instruct our clients to say, you know what, I don't talk about that. That's kind of private. So keep that in mind about your kissing life, your love life, and your sex life. Keep it private. People will honor you for that. Number 2, the when, the where, and the why of kissing. All right, so when should we kiss? Obviously, there's first dates where you just feel that electricity. I'm going to call it electricity, not chemistry. It could be chemistry, but you know it's just fun and you're feeling the energy. And I'm okay with the first date kiss. As a matter of fact, I think it's best to wait to the end of the date to make it cute, make it memorable, and make it short. Okay, so when, where, and why. So the next one would be where. On the first date, that's fine. I actually like it at the very end, so then it's not awkward. It's not expected throughout the date because then that's confusing. So on a first date, that's fine. Up to 3 dates, sure. Some people, if that's your thing, I'm not going to be kissing, you better tell them sooner than later. It's only fair. But I don't know that many people doing that. So when, where. I do like it at the goodbye, at the more towards the end, maybe at the dessert if you are doing a sit-down dinner date. Make it towards the end so that nothing else is going to be weird and awkward. And why? Why are we kissing somebody? I think this is a big deal because we want to understand that your intentions, instead of it always being said, you can also make it known. And women need to, as I always say, and Matthew Hussey says it, drop the hanky. Ladies, if you want him to kiss you, you need to make that known. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And guys, if you want to go on a second date, you need to make it known. One, verbally. Let's always verbally speak on the end of a date. Hey, this was really fun. I would do it again. Or, you could say that to the guy, could say that to the girl could say that to the guy, making it clear. Watch afterwards how they respond back. And if a woman's like, oh yeah, a woman will usually say, oh yeah, because she's really not sure what to say. She needs a couple days to think about it. She might need to go home, chat with a girlfriend. She might know right away. Ladies, if you know right away, say, absolutely, I will send you my calendar. Ladies, if you don't know, just say, yeah, well, let me think on that. And, or just say something like, text me when you get home and we'll figure out something. But you don't want to lead him on because you don't probably want to be kissed. You're not there yet. You can always say something like, hey, I thought this was a good date, but hey, no kissing because I make that special. So feel free to kind of run that show, ladies, if you're not quite ready for that date. And guys, this is my number 3, all right? The approach. Let's talk about 4 different ways that you can do the approach. Now, guys love it if a girl does it, actually. So I'm going to put that out there. You can send the man a drink. You can make it clear and known that you like a guy. Ladies, it's okay to be proactive in this. It's okay to be proactive in making the first kiss. But I know most of us want to wait. They want to see his intentions. I absolutely 100% agree with that. But don't forget, in a relationship too, down the line, men want you to be kind of intentional as well, ladies. So don't get lazy in that. Don't think it's forever that he should be making every move because guys like it when you make a move. All right, so let's talk about these approaches. Number 1, all right, for this approach, it's called the foreshadow. I had a client, he was doing pickleball on a second date. He hadn't gotten a kiss in. And while they were passing each other on the pickleball court, he went in for a kiss. And I said, no, not a good idea. She did not see that coming. She actually swerved away from the kiss because she just was not ready for it. And she was in front of friends. And this was like, no, what is happening right now? What he should have done was in the transition, he should have said, the next one, I might have to kiss you when I pass you by. Throw in that foreshadow, and then she could have playfully said something like, oh boy, you better not. Or she could have said, oh yeah, well, I'll let you. So she could let him know. But foreshadow that before you try to go in for the kiss, and it ends. So the foreshadower is just letting that person know that they want to kiss you. All right, number 2 is the instigator. This is somebody who is going to give you permission to go for it. So ladies, you are going to be instigating the fact that you already know he wants to kiss you. You can just tell it's going really well, and he just kind of needs to know, can I kiss her? You need to instigate that and say, you know what? Right now is like a really good time for a kiss. Or I sure hope I get a kiss tonight at the end of the date. Instigate that for him so that he can make it happen. All right, the next one is being the honest person, the honest approach. You could say something like, I really want to kiss you right now, but I'll wait. I really want to get a kiss from you tonight because you seem pretty amazing. So you're just being honest. It's like foreshadowing, but with way more honesty, right? Just being super direct about it. And then the last one is the lean in. Okay, this approach is kind of subtle. You could foreshadow before. You're going to make it sweet. You're going to make it demure. The lean in has to be well done. Otherwise, it's a deal breaker. So the lean in often can start with like a hold and a hug. I'm just going to recommend, I love the double hands. This might be too much on a first date, but a good kiss where you steady your hands around her face and you really kind of look at her and say something special to her, recognize something unique about her from the date. Now, this is very romantic, so make sure you're ready for this and she's ready for this. But going back to that first date, the when, where, why, I always think it's safe to just leave that kiss on the cheek, on the forehead. If you're a tall guy, foreheads are a great kiss. If you're a little bit shorter and you're not quite hitting the forehead there, go in for the cheek. And you could say something like, well, I'm going to give you a cheek kiss tonight, but I hope on our second date, I could get a little bit more. Like, I love all these communicative ways where you can really make sure we're on the same page for kissing. All right, so let's talk about number 4, the kiss killers. So these are often deal breakers, and I'm just going to share a few of my own stories because honestly, again, this was the podcast that I was like, what am I supposed to share about? All right, so here's one of them, the helicopter. So I was in 11th grade, was not a big dater in high school. Jaime, I went to the prom with him. I was an 11th grader. He was a junior. Jaime went straight for it. He literally was, boom. He just came in for the kill, and it was a killer. You know, he put his tongue in my mouth and just, it was like a helicopter. It wasn't great. It wasn't fun. It was wet. It was not great. But Jaime, if you're out there, I'm sure you're much better at it now. So I'm not going to hold it against him. But if you're a grown man and you're still doing that, no bueno. All right, the next one is the confused kiss. Like, he's kind of coming in and then you're confused. Like, is he going to kiss me? Is he not? Like, it's annoying. Like, be a man and just go for it, right? You've got to like dead center and just hit it on the target, okay? We do not like confused men. Then the next one is the pecky, like little fish kisses, like annoying, okay? Like, are you kissing me? Are you in this? Like, what is this? It's a little too pecky, not a winner. So try to avoid these, anything too wet, anything too big. Now, lip size does matter, okay? And this is actually my number 5. Somebody said this and I thought, this is kind of key. This is kind of essential. It's really about, and this is number 5, it's really about what you're kissing. Now, I don't feel like I should expand on that, but I think you all get it. There are different types of kisses for different types of places. So I'm going to let you, we'll have a sex therapist on who can help with that one so I don't have to blush and my pastor doesn't have to say, Katy, what are you talking about? But I do think that is an important thought. And you know what? Talk to somebody about it. Be open. Say like, so what kind of kissing do you like? When you make it fun and playful, it'll be fun and playful. Now, if you're like, okay, so what kind of kissing do you like? That is not fun and playful. You don't have to ask about last kisses or who they've kissed the best, but you can ask what kind of kissing do you like? So again, I do want to recommend, I know there's people with small lips. I have to say this. A lot of women don't like men who have no lips. But guys, the guys with the no lips, you're going to have to step it up. You're going to have to be more passionate. You're going to have to be more romantic. Guys with big lips, like be careful you don't just like suck it all in. So there's, as I always say, there's an ass for every saddle. There's a lid for every pot. So I think you guys will be just fine in this whole game of kissing. Now, I want to let you know that as of podcast 100, I will be having my very first guest. This will be a guest style podcast now. I've done 99 of all my own opinions. So you guys should know where I stand on almost everything. And I will be having as my first guest, Erica Arecha, who is the one, the only best matchmaker that I get to work with. She started the company that I work for, Cinqe Matchmaking, and she is just phenomenal at her job. I'm grateful for her because she kind of took me in and let me run with this matchmaking thing. And so you guys are going to love, we're going to have 2 matchmakers on the mic giving our best advice for you. So you're going to want to tune into that. So do me a favor, make sure you like this. Make sure you give me 5 stars. I got 1 negative star. This woman said, I wasn't LGBTQ friendly. Sorry, she's right. I'm the cisgender. I'm for the 2 genders here. I'm not working in the other communities. But if you give me 5 stars, that would help kind of change that average. And send this to a friend. We all have friends who need a good laugh about dating. I listen to myself and I actually laugh back. And we all just need to be encouraged because you guys, I am for you. Every Friday, I pray for my followers. I pray for you guys who are single that you would find some fabulous, fabulous partners. And I know they're out there because I meet them every day. All right, so until next time, make sure that you get confident, be successful, and would you just have some fun dating? Cheers.